Oh dear God, which was my first reaction when this happened. Evil, the monster, the creature that tortured me throughout this whole entire game was here. And he was the final boss fight of this game. And the worst part is that evil can kill you within one touch. How are you supposed to fight something that can kill you in one touch? But thankfully, though, evil was no longer able to be given the ability to kill you within one touch. This was it. This was the final battle. If I defeated evil, the game will be over. A part of me told me to turn off the game and just leave. But a second part of me told me to just keep going and finish this. And so, here we go. The fight started when evil shot up 2 red lasers directly at me and shot and damaged half of Godzilla's health. But however, when evil hit Godzilla with the lasers, I felt it. I know it's normal for players to cringe whenever they play a certain game, but this was no cringe. This was real physical pain. It hurt so bad. It was like there was a burning pain on my arm and on my leg. I actually had to pause the game so bad because it hurt. It was at this moment that I decided to just give up. I decided that it was best to turn off the game. Of course, I was disappointed that I wasn't going to be seeing the end of the game, but I had to. But however, another problem happened. I couldn't move. I was paralyzed from the neck down. The only thing that I could move were my hands and my fingers. I then screamed at the top of my lungs, "What's going on? What's happening?" I tried to turn off the game, but nothing happened. But all of a sudden, evil responded to me.
You are not leaving.
It was at this moment that I realized something. Evil was forcing me to play the game. What started out as a fun, little curious adventure has now turned into a living nightmare. I tried desperate attempts to try to break myself free, but I couldn't move. I then started to cry and yell, I'm sorry, I tried to take your game as a joke. I thought your game was just some type of ROM hacker or something. I'm sorry, I promise I won't tell anyone about the game. Just please let me go. Please, I'm begging you, please.
You pathetic one. It's too late now. Only one will survive.
And that's when it all came to me. Only one will survive. I then realized that in order to defeat this game once and for all, I had to kill evil. I knew that even if I'd win, he would probably still kill me. I had to finish him off once and for all, in hopes that maybe I can free all the other souls and avenge all the other people that he had killed, because I assumed that I wasn't the first victim that evil was playing with. And so, it was time to fight for survival. And so, in ultimate response to evil's words, I immediately shot at evil with an atomic breath, and which damaged half of his health. I wanted evil to hurt. I wanted evil to feel the exact same pain I was feeling. And so, I continued to fight with evil with Godzilla. But however, as the fight with evil became more and more intense, I realized that I won't be able to continue playing as Godzilla throughout this boss fight. And so I realized that I had to pick another kaiju. After fighting with Godzilla, I decided to switch to Anguirus. Now, I know it may not have seemed like a good choice to fight Anguirus with evil, but hear me out. Since Anguirus has the ability to crawl and jump, it makes it pretty faster to dodge some of evil's attacks. And so it was able to work. but however it did cost with Anguirus losing almost half of his health, and so I had to switch to another monster. After using Anguirus, I then decided to switch over to Rodan, another seemingly good choice. I could use Rodan to fly over Evil's laser beam eyes, a much faster way to dodge attacks, and once I'd have the right time, I could instantly go over and kick Evil straight in the face. Seems like a pretty great choice if you ask me. After using Rodan, I then went on to use King Caesar, and King Caesar did seem to be a pretty standard match for Evil, as I could shoot out the infamous laser eye beam directly at Evil's face, damaging half of his health. But however though, King Caesar did lose a lot of health during the fight, and so the fight was pretty much broken short. After playing as King Caesar, I then went over to play as Mothra. But however though, playing as Mothra was a horrible mistake, because not only was Mothra unable to dodge Evil's attacks, but also because Mothra's attacks were barely even damageable to Evil. And so Evil quickly overpowered Mothra within seconds. And so, once Mothra's health was at a very low percent, Evil shot his laser beam eyes directly at Mothra for a finishing kill. And so, Mothra was obliterated. This was just great. Mothra had died because of my stupidity. It was my fault that Mothra was dead, and thanks to me, it now costs me a bit of more pain. This was just great. I need to come up with a new strategy. And so, it was now Solomon's turn to defeat Evil. It was now Solomon's turn to fight Evil, and as expected, when the fight started, Solomon and Evil started to speak to each other.
This has to end now, Evil. You're taking things way too far.
I'm gonna give you one last warning, Solomon. Stay out of my way.
And so the fight was on. Already Solomon and Evil were becoming pretty outmatched for each other. It was an evenly match. Solomon was easily able to dodge Evil's laser beam attacks. And so it was pretty easy and able enough to take down Evil. Finally, once Evil was at a very low health percentage, I immediately shot him with a laser beam, and this was enough to lower his health down. And then Evil was dead. After when Evil was dead, I thought that I had won, but however, Evil's body didn't sink to the floor, and I still couldn't move. Evil was still alive.
I'm not done with you yet.
In a blink of an eye, Evil transformed into his gigantic centipede final form. And it was at this moment, after seeing how much health bars that Evil had, I definitely immediately knew that I was screwed. In almost 20 seconds, Solomon was easily overpowered by Evil, and soon enough, Evil obliterated Solomon the exact same way how he did to Mothra.
Pathetic. Even with these monsters, you're still weak.
This is it. I'm dead. There's nothing I can do about this. Evil is too strong and he's too powerful. There's nothing else that I can do to stop him. There's only one thing I can do now. Send all my weaker monsters to fight him. After when Evil killed Solomon, I decided to use Rodan to fight Evil. Another very horrible mistake. Even though Rodan was able to fly and dodge some of Evil's attacks, he still was no match for the power of Evil. Not even King Caesar was strong enough to overpower evil, as he was also overpowered, and he suffered and died in the hands of evil's eyes.
Are you kidding me? I expected a much greater challenge, and all I got was a bunch of weak monsters. Come on, give me your best shot.
There was nothing else I could do now. All what I had to do now was accept defeat. There is nothing I can do to defeat this monster, this demon, this beast. He's too powerful. All what I can do now is send out my last two monsters, Godzilla and Anguirus. I then used Anguirus to fight evil, and as expected, evil instantly defeated Anguirus in 5 seconds.
You can't win, Billy.
The last word that evil said struck me to the core. I immediately responded, "How do you know my name?"
I've known you for a long time, Billy. I think it's time I tell you who I am. I am a demonic being from the underworld, and I was sent here to Earth to conquer it and terraform it into my own hell. But I was put on a spell by a bunch of angels to rest for 2,000 years. Once the spell was broken, I needed a way to gain more power and energy. So I took advantage of a human woman, and she later became my wife, and she died giving birth to my son Red. I wanted my son Red to become my successor, so I let him take over my job, and he did a very good job at killing people. But thanks to that humanoid creature Solomon and that stupid boy Zachary, my son Red was murdered. Ever since my son's death, I've been waiting to get my revenge on Zachary, and I was going to kill him, but then I met you, and I decided to kill you instead, so I could watch Zachary cry as he once again would lose another loved one, just like Melissa. Now that you know the truth, it's time for you to die. Send your last monster, and I will bring it to its demise.
It finally all made sense now. Evil wasn't just any ordinary demon. He was a demon that was sent here to take over the whole world. And I was going to become one of his slaves, just like Solomon. Although it seemed that Solomon was able to break free from evil's control and move on to his own life, and he must have been the one that killed evil's son Red along with Zachary. I instantly knew that all hope was lost. Not only was I going to die, but if I died, then evil would continue his path of destruction. After when evil would kill me, he would move on to kill another person, probably Zachary, and he would keep killing people in order to gain more power and more energy to become more stronger. And he would continue to kill everyone until he would become so powerful that he could rule across the whole entire world, and he could possibly destroy the world. I then started crying because I knew that I was dead. It's over. There's nothing else we can do now. The only thing I can do now is just accept death. Death is the only way. And so I sent Godzilla to fight evil. This was it. This was the absolute end. I can already see the fate, even as I blink. After 2 seconds, Godzilla was instantly dead in a second. This was it. All hope is lost. It's time to accept defeat. Godzilla is dead, King Caesar is dead, Mothra is dead, Solomon is dead, and Rodan is dead. It's over. If I had just turned off the game the moment I started playing it, maybe none of this would have happened. my brain was full of guilt. But it was now time for my end to come.
Game over.
All of a sudden, just before evil could kill me, there was this weird blue force came in and started challenging evil's force. The battle lasted for almost 5 minutes before eventually the blue screen took over, and then a new character appeared.
Billy, we don't have much time.
Who are you?
You already know me. I am Melissa.
Melissa? But how is that possible? You died in a car accident.
Yes, that is true. But it wasn't the chunk that killed me. It was Evil's son, Red, that killed me. Even though Red is dead, Evil is still alive, and you're the only one that can stop him.
But how, Melissa? How can I stop evil? He's too powerful. He's too strong. You saw what happened back there. All my monsters died. There's nothing else that can help me.
Guess what? Zachary had similar problems too, but he was still brave and he was able to kill Red. I know you are able to stop evil, Billy. You're our last hope.
Yeah, but guess what, Melissa? I don't have another monster. How am I supposed to fight evil without another monster?
I can't fight evil, but there is one who can. I will release him from evil's grasp.
This was it. It's time for the final battle to begin. Melissa is going to give me a new monster. I just hope my new monster is strong enough to defeat evil. I finally got to see what my new monster was when this title screen showed up. My new monster was called Acacius, the Golden White. Alright, this is it. It's time for the final showdown. We are going to take evil down, just like his son Red.
You can't stop me.
Acacius was by far the strongest living monster in this whole game. With enough force, I knew that we would be able to take down evil in no time. Acacius had a punch so powerful that it could drain the health of any creature so fast. Acacius could also shoot lasers from out of his eyes, as well as shoot fireballs from his hands. And finally, with one final strike, evil was defeated. We've done it. Evil is dead. We have defeated evil, the monster, the demon that has been torturing innocent human beings for 2 million years, is now dead. And now, all the people like Melissa and all the other people that evil has killed, their deaths have all been avenged. Because we finally gotten rid of evil, the demon, the beast, Satan himself, once and for all. All of a sudden, the game cut to a graveyard scene with Acacius, and there, all the monsters that helped me fight evil, Godzilla, Rodan, Anguirus, King Caesar, Solomon, and Mothra were all there. Tears of joy started to fill my eyes. After everything, all the terror that I've gone through, the game was finally coming to an end. We have stopped evil once and for all, and now he would never hurt anybody ever again. But before the game could end, Melissa had one more thing she had to tell me.
You have saved us. We are forever grateful. We'll be together again someday. And one more thing. Tell Zachary that I love him.
I will, Melissa. I will.